Dear friends, 5th of September is the birth anniversary of a great teacher, Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan, who was a staunch believer of education and was a well-known diplomat, a scholar, a philosopher, a statesman, the President of India, and above all, a teacher par excellence. In the year 1965, some of the prominent students of late Dr. Radhakrishnan organized a gathering to pay tribute to the great teacher of repute. In that gathering, in his speech, Dr. Radhakrishnan expressed his deep reservation regarding his birth anniversary celebration and emphasized that his birth anniversary should be celebrated as Teachers' Day by paying homage to other great teachers of India. His contribution to shaping India's education is immense. As the common saying goes, the future of a country lies in the hands of its children, and teachers as mentors can mold students into future leaders who shape the destiny of India. They play an important role in our lives in helping us become successful in career and business. They help us to become good human beings, a better member of society, and an ideal citizen of the nation. Teachers' Day is celebrated to acknowledge the challenges, the hardships, and special roles that teachers play in our society. Teachers' Day focuses on appreciation, assessment, and changes required for teachers, and also an occasion to honor teachers, respect them for their contribution towards students. And this year, we celebrate Teachers' Day on September 5th, very specially, because we are just almost out of the COVID pandemic. The COVID-19 pandemic has detrimentally impacted education systems worldwide. Of the 1.2 billion children that the coronavirus has thrown out of classrooms, at least 1/3 have no access to remote learning, what we call the online learning, and hence no access to education. The United Nations estimates that 24 million children will not return to school due to the fallout from the pandemic. Solving the education crisis needs to be the priority for governments all over. And in India, currently has 600 million citizens under the age of 25. They are the future of India, and their formation is vital for the future of India. The education of these young people can and should be India's catalyst for economic, social, and political growth. The role of teachers in all these is so important, and therefore we need to look at the quality teachers. We need to look at the efficient teachers, committed teachers, teachers who mentor, guide, and lead our students to better future. And therefore, on this Teachers' Day, let us look at certain qualities required of a teacher. What are the most valuable qualities of a good teacher? Good teachers are likely made up of a combination of hundreds of qualities that allow them to do their job effectively. There is no denying that all teachers have their own unique blend of these qualities. Each teacher is different, but virtually every good teacher has the following qualities. I can mention around 25 qualities of a teacher. And I think on Teachers' Day, we must inwardly look at ourselves as teachers and see these qualities, and perhaps we can appreciate ourselves for having these qualities, or we can imbibe these qualities for bettering ourselves as good teachers. First one, a good teacher is accountable. Accountability is very, very important. Accountability to the school, accountability to the educational systems, accountability to students, because we hold ourselves a great expectation from our students. Therefore, it is important for us to have us to hold the same expectations as we have of our students. A teacher cannot have double standards. For example, if you do not allow your students to do a particular action, then you should not do that action also. Second point, a good teacher is adaptable. Adaptability or flexibility is so important for a teacher. For example, making changes to lessons or activities, etc., according to the situation. Suppose the students are not grasping, they are not understanding. There is no point in pouring water on an upside down bucket. We should pour the water first after keeping the bucket ready. And that is why adaptability is very important. The third point is a teacher is caring. Caring, in other words, loving. Going the extra mile to ensure that every student is successful, no matter which background he comes from or what kind of a place he is from. Every child is unique and everyone is capable. God has given them good qualities. Someone said, nobody is useless, perhaps useless. I think that is very important. A teacher must be caring. The fourth point is a good teacher is compassionate. Caring and compassionate heart go together. Recognizing that your students have problems. Yes, a teacher must take outside factors into consideration. The influence that the students get from outside. All those things a teacher must be aware and be compassionate. Next point, a good teacher is cooperative. Cooperation is a great virtue. The ability to work effectively with school management, administrators, other teachers, and parents for the good of your students. A teacher, the next point is, a good teacher is creative. Creative people are very important. The National Education Policy 2020 talks about one of its key principles is being creative and innovative. And every teacher must be creative. Taking a concept and shaping a lesson that is unique, engaging, and dynamic. A teacher must be able to create lessons that grab their students' attention and make them want to keep coming back for more. A good teacher is dedicated. Dedicated means showing up every day and spending the necessary time to provide your students with the best education, helping them The next point is a good teacher is determined. Determination means finding any means necessary to reach all students no matter the challenge. And we have seen during the pandemic lockdown period, teachers came out so creatively reaching out to their students. Yes, we need to have that determination. A good teacher is empathetic. I think empathy is so important for a teacher. Empathy, in other words, being sensitive to the students' struggles, even though you may not personally be able to relate to them. A teacher must put themselves in the students' shoes and see that they understand the problems and feel with the students. This approach is often transcending in how to help the child succeed. A good teacher is engaging. The ability to grab the attention of a classroom full of students and to maintain their attention throughout the entirety of class is a great virtue. A teacher always must create lessons that are fun, fresh, and energetic. You want your students to walk out of your class each day looking forward to the next day. Another quality of a good teacher is evolving. No teacher is a finished product. You have to be able to evolve according to the times and places. A continuous process of year over year improvement and growth is important for a teacher. You cannot be stagnant. You cannot be closed up. You should be able to grow every day. And therefore, a teacher must continuously look for ways to improve themselves, as well as individual lessons or components of lessons, etc. Whichever agency they get new development in education, learn from them. Another quality of a good teacher is fearless. Fearless means there is no hesitation in taking a new approach. We have seen Tare Zameen Par, the famous movie. You need to take risk and take a new approach. Sometimes that may work. So to take a new creative or innovative way, you should be fearless. A good teacher is forgiving. You know, your students make mistakes. They are on the process of growth. On the process of growth, they make mistakes. Quickly putting incidents with students, parents, and other teachers behind you so that does not impact your teaching or your relationship. Every teacher must be able to forgive their students. And therefore, the next quality of a good teacher is generous. Generosity is another virtue. We need to be able to be generous, give our time, our energy, our giftedness, our talents, our knowledge, everything to the students generously. Another quality, a good teacher has grit. Grit means the determination to overcome any obstacles in the way of obtaining a long-term goal. There will be hurdles, there will be difficulties, there will be hardships, but a good teacher will sail through all these difficulties. And therefore, he needs to have grit, a necessary quality, and move forward. And all this, if you have, then another quality is that you must be an inspirational person, inspiring person. You know, when we look back to our school days and see who are our teachers, you will see somebody who inspired you will be remembered. Many of them must have been forgotten by you. but you'll remember those who inspired you. The ability of a teacher to get their students to buy in, to believe in, and to be motivated to become lifelong learners. That's called inspiration. A teacher should make a lasting inspirational impact that follows a student throughout their life. Some of our teachers has so much influence on us. I remember some of the teachers so much influenced, even in my Jesuit life or before that school life, etc. In the college, I had a wonderful professor who is a knowledgeable. I used to call him as an encyclopedia of knowledge. Everything is there. Another good quality of a teacher is, a good teacher is joyful. Joyful. There should be enthusiasm, there should be love, there should be happiness expressing on the faith. A joyful teacher can simply attract students like a magnet. Coming to the class each day in a good mood, excited and enthusiastic about doing your job. If a teacher has a lousy attitude, the students are going to have lousy attitudes. If the teacher is joyful, the students are going to be joyful. Remember that. Another quality of a good teacher we need today in India is kind and caring teachers. Kind, because the ability of a teacher to say and do things that uplifts, motivates, and inspires. Kindness should be innate in all teachers. A mean spirit will turn students off, but a kind spirit is invaluable. Such a teacher will attract the students. In Jesuit education, we say that we have 4 C's to be cultivated in our students. And I say those qualities must be there in the teachers, then only the students will learn. And what are those qualities? First of all, we call it 4 C's. The first one is our students, our teachers. I will test teachers today. Our teachers must be conscious, having conscience. Conscience means that's an internal thing. It's not about awareness, much more deeper than that. Conscience. So create conscience among the students and teachers. The second, competent. Every teacher must be competent. And every teacher must have compassion. We have seen it already. Compassion. And finally, every teacher must be committed. These 4 C's, remember: conscience, competence, commitment, and compassion. And finally, every teacher must be organized themselves. Organized. The ability to keep things neat and in order, allowing teachers to access materials quickly and to make efficient transitions. Organization is a necessary quality for every teacher. Teaching encompasses so much that those who are unorganized will be overwhelmed and swallowed up. So a kind of discipline, kind of self-discipline and order in life must be there. Another quality of a teacher is that a teacher is passionate. If there is no passion, you will be like a tire without air. If you do not have enthusiasm, there is no passion. And if there is no passion, you cannot be a teacher. Teaching with enthusiasm and exuberance on a daily basis, because you love the content and your students. A passionate teacher connects with their curriculum and their students, which maximizes the learning. Because a passionate teacher will have something to contribute all the time. And a good teacher is patient, because they are dealing with students, not the machines. The ability to see the whole picture and to understand that the school year is a marathon, not a sprint. The teacher must never give up on a student. They should continuously try new strategies, understanding that eventually something will work. In every class, we may have some students who are dull, or some students who are restless, or some students who are unable to capture what you are communicating to. You have to be patient. They say if you want to go fast, if you want to go far, go fast. But if you want to, that's not the way. If you want to go fast, go alone. And if you want to go far, go together. I think we as teachers must enable our students to go far with patience. A good teacher is resilient. Resilience means not allowing adversity to stop you from accomplishing your goals. A teacher must be resilient in overcoming the many obstacles that will present themselves over the course of the year. And I think one of the most important quality of a teacher I place before you is a good teacher is resourceful. Resourcefulness means finding a way to make things happen. A person who has a lot of resources, knowledge. Suppose a person who reads a lot of books, good books, classics, etc. He will have a lot to give to his students. That's why resourcefulness is important. Anything when students look for, you should be able to give or suggest. A teacher must be able to figure out how to get supplies and materials for their classrooms when it is needed. And a teacher must be flexible or vulnerable. That means allowing your students to gain some insight into your own life, that you are a good person, you are a knowledgeable person, you are a self-disciplined person, etc. Vulnerability allows students to relate to their teachers as they share in common interests such as sports, television, and extracurricular activities. If you follow these 25 qualities, you may have plenty of them, many of them. On this Teachers' Day, it's so important for us to reflect why our society is faced with problems, why valuelessness is growing quick and fast in our society, etc. Why violence is increasing, why child abuse and atrocities against women and children, etc., increasing in our society. Why corruption is widespread in our society. It's all because we, teachers in our schools, either failed or unaware of these essential qualities. Perhaps this Teachers' Day may be a great opportunity for us to reflect and to cultivate these qualities in us. As a conclusion, I take a pledge of a teacher. It's very important to understand this pledge and take as a pledge and practice it in our life. The pledge goes like this. Perhaps you can repeat after me. I love teaching. Teaching will be my soul. I love teaching. Teaching will be my soul. I will be fully committed to the great mission of teaching. I will consider myself to be a great teacher only when I am capable of elevating the average student to a higher performance. I will organize and conduct my life in such a way that my life itself is a message for my students. I will treat all my students equally and will not support any differentiation on account of religion, caste, creed, color, ethnicity, or language. I will constantly endeavor to fill my mind with great and noble thoughts. I will spread nobility in thinking and action among all my students. I will always celebrate the success of my students. I will ensure students blossom into creative, enlightened citizens. I will be loyal to the ideals of my school and adhere to the values of love, truth, patience, compassion, and justice. I will work in a team for the greater good of the school and for the all-round development of my society and nation. This is my pledge. This is the pledge of the teachers to take on the Teachers' Day. In fact, let us make every day a happy Teachers' Day for our students and school community and the entire education arena. On this Teachers' Day, I wish everyone a very happy Teachers' Day. Enjoy the commitment, enjoy the giftedness, and utilize these giftedness for the welfare of our nation. Happy Teachers' Day. God bless all of you. Thank you.